Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learned about working with some text formatting elements. Yesterday we learned some important text formatting in HTML. What we discussed yesterday was about text formatting. In text formatting, I explained how to use font and font styles and font effects. Generally, font is defined by using a font tag. Font have three important attributes. One is face, another size, another one color. Font styles, we have bold and italic. We have strong and emphasize. We have font effects. We have like underline and ins. We have like strikeout and deleted. As we already discussed, what is difference between bold and strong? Bold is used for designing, strong is used for reviewing. What is meant by reviewing? Reviewing is the process of verifying the design. Whatever design happened, we have to verify is that design according to the client requirements or not. That's what generally we call as review. So when we are reviewing, we will put different elements, strong and emphasize. While designing, we will keep bold and italic. In the font effects, actually, yesterday I explained up to these. We have two more options are there in font effects. In font effects, you have one is SUP. This is superscript. Another we have SUB. This is subscript. These are also under font effects. Yesterday we learned underline and strikeout. In font effects, you have superscript and subscript. Superscript is nothing but actually it can raise character above the baseline. Subscript, it can lower character so below the baseline. That is what actually superscript and subscript. Character position can be raised or lowered from the baseline, then we call superscript or subscript. You are writing X and I want this 2 as square. That means the 2 position must be raised from the baseline. Then we have to keep that in what is it? Superscript. Superscript 2. Then it will get into that superscript and display. That is what superscript so displaying. Suppose you are writing H2O. 2 must be lowered from the baseline. If 2 must be lowered from the baseline, then we have to write it as SUB. SUB is what? Subscript. Subscript is this. That is superscript and subscript. Raised from baseline, lowered from the baseline. Usually, when you are designing some content, the superscript, subscript comes there. Suppose we are adding Yeah. In the font style, Flipkart. So here we are writing some like fifth anniversary. Like this, we are writing. And this TH must be raised from the baseline. It must be raised from the baseline. Then we have to use SUP, superscript TH. Then it will be raised from the baseline. It raises the character from the baseline. If you want to lower from the baseline, suppose in the line H2, I will give SUB and 2 O, and you can see it can be lowered from the baseline. These are general things, how we can create superscript, subscript. These all comes under which category? This all comes under font effects. So let me give you the complete summary here. One is font. Font have face, size, color. Font styles, bold and italic. Font effects, underline, strikeout, superscript and subscript. These are character appearance. You remembered yesterday one point I told you. What are web safe fonts? What are web safe fonts? Web safe fonts are the fonts that are available on every device. Right? So is every font a web safe font? No. What are the web safe fonts? Serif, sans serif and monospace. That means if any specific font you are trying to use and they are not available, automatically they will transform into either of these three, serif, sans serif or monospace, right? This is all basic text formatting, how we can format the text. Next important, you need to know other formats. Then we can implement in one example. You need to know other formats. Next one, in HTML, you have to know headings. Headings in HTML. Headings are simple, but the concept behind is little important. Actually, HTML headings are defined by using n element. So here n is actually n refers to level number of heading 1 to 6. Generally font size also we have level number 1 to 7. 1 to 7 gradually font size increasing. Here 1 to 6 gradually decreasing. Headings are used to give a good appearance for headings. But the key point here is actually headings are used to make your topics SEO friendly. To make the topics SEO friendly, search engine friendly. And usually we write headings like this. Heading 1, whatever text you want, heading 1 close. Like this, how many levels you can add? 6 levels you can add. Heading 6 and text and heading 6 close. That is basic. So wherever you want headings, we have a ready-made option for that. We can apply. Just what you have to do, let's go and here write. Suppose I am writing HTML. Suppose I said web technologies. And here we have, and we have, in that HTML, and it is a markup language. Then CSS, it defines styles. Okay, I return some backend and in that some MongoDB. So it is a database like this videos. Some Node.js. So it is server side programming. Okay, so you see, this is the content we are having. And you can see all the content looks normal in single line. In this content, we have some headings. Headings means usually they must display little different from others. Then you don't need to work hard. You can just put a simple element. For this, it is top level heading. Then I will keep that in H1. And you can see heading looks different. Its font style, its line spacing, it is little different, bold. Now here, this is first level. Suppose in this front end is second level. Then I will give as H2. It looks little smaller. And back end also same like front end. That means this is also which level? H2, heading 2 level, front end, back end. Again in front end, you have HTML as a topic. This will be H3, heading 3. Same like this, CSS also same as HTML, heading 3. That means at which level it is. Similarly, MongoDB is heading 3. And Node.js is also heading 3. Like this we define. Now you can see appearance will be better. That means this is the first level heading. Under that we have front end. In that we have HTML, CSS. So headings will give a different appearance for your content. Actually, now in interviews, what question they ask is, in interviews they ask that we can give the same type of appearance without headings. Then why to use headings? So for example, I am adding one more topic here. I will put a break, line break I am giving. I am writing font. I am giving font size as, we learned font size na? Font size as 4. We put B, B is bold. I am writing JavaScript. And line break. And here I am adding, so it is a language for DOM, something like this. Now you can see here, JavaScript is also similar to CSS. JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Suppose I am giving this JavaScript word in a capital letter. So you can see all these three look same. That means HTML, CSS you are giving by using heading. But this you have given without heading. For a person who is watching your website, he don't care about what code you written. They don't care. They don't even know and they don't want to know. Right? That means even several people even don't know what is internet, but they use internet. Right? That means the simple point. I don't care about what technology you used, what language you used in the background. For me, I feel like a heading or not is enough. That means for me, HTML, CSS, JavaScript all look like heading only. Now the question is, why to use heading element if you can give the same style without that element. Question understood? Why to give heading element with heading? Without that also we can give same appearance. Why we need to give that? So the point is to make it SEO friendly, search engine friendly. Now, when search engine robot comes onto our page, it will identify that under front end, there are only two topics. There are only two topics. Which topics? HTML, another one, CSS. It will not recognize this as a topic because visually it is like a heading, but technically it is not a heading. Then robots will not consider them. They will ignore. Later you will learn such programs. Temporarily I will show you, observe. I will show you temporarily one small program. Don't worry what I am writing, just see. On load, body load. I am just writing some script. So here I am writing a function, body load. So here we have X. This is document get elements by tag name. I given H3. And here I am saying, so alert, yeah. I am writing total number of third level headings. How many third level headings are there? Third level, I will say headings. How many are there? I'm just using length. Okay. You can see actually third level headings, how many are there? Third level headings, HTML, CSS, MongoDB, Node.js, and JavaScript also looks the same. But in the result, it will show only 4. It says 4. That means robots are nothing but computer programs. And these programs will not recognize your 5th heading JavaScript. You can see here there are 5 headings. 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. But what my program is saying, it is saying that there are only 4 headings. That means your heading is user friendly, but it is not search engine friendly. When a robot tries to search for topics, it will ignore these topics because they are not defined in headings. So headings are not for just appearance. They are also for SEO friendly. So that robots can easily summarize and they can understand how many topics are there in your page. They can show in such results that this page provides these topics. That is why the concept you need headings. So without heading, also we can give that appearance. I will just remove this. I will remove this code for you because this is not at your level as of now. You don't need this. Just I showed you the concept. Later you will learn that in JavaScript. So I will copy this example here. I will copy this example and here what is the question? The frequently asked question in interviews is why to define text in heading style if we can configure same appearance without heading style. Why to define text in heading style if we can configure same appearance without heading style? So the answer is to keep our topics in page, SEO friendly, so that search engines can easily summarize summarize your topics in page. That is the key point. So why to define heading style? Without heading style also we can give same appearance. Two reasons. One reason, user can feel it like a heading. Second reason, search engines can easily identify that they are headings. That is one concept. Next, while working with headings, another important point is, here two basic things you should remember. Never use too many headings in a page. This is one basic rule. When you are developing a real-time application, don't try to put a lot of headings. Now, there is no count for that. Now, immediately some people will have a doubt like how many I can have, 10, 15, and 20. For that, common sense is required, not technical thing. Common sense means you have 2 paragraphs information in a page. Now, will you put 10 headings in it? That doesn't make any sense at all. Right? Software development is not just about technical things. Little bit common sense also you should use. You should see what is there on screen. You should know that your content is only 2 paragraphs. How you can put 10 headings, 5 headings, 7 headings for just 2 paragraphs? These basics, if you violate, then what is the threat on internet is your website will be spammed. You know, on internet, spam means all useless content is sent into a trash. That means a dustbin. That means if you design website without following standards, its target is dustbin. That means simply robots will throw in a dustbin. Then you have a website, but nobody can see it. Why? Because it is not as per standards and rules. Then they will simply ignore them. That is why spam is very dangerous. We take lot of precautions also, our website can be spammed. For example, you are applying for a job interview. Some MNC companies like Wipro, Infosys, they have to send an offer letter to you. They will clearly mention that please check your spam for the offer letter. Because when they send email, that email sometimes may go to spam. That means those people are the people who build software. Even they cannot control. That means you may ask like, why IBM people's mail will go to spam? They are genius in software development. Their mails can come directly to inbox. They can't control that. Why they can't control? Because these search engines are robots, artificial intelligence. Even you take lot of precautions, situation wise, a small mistake in the content, it will lead to spam. That is the reason. What is the threat with headings? Lot of headings may spam your page. So never use too many headings in page. It may lead to spam. That is one basic thing. Another point is never use headings to highlight any word or sentence. Don't use headings to highlight any word or sentence. Use headings only for headings. Why we should not use headings to highlight any word or sentence? Because they break the sentence. They break the word, they break the sentence. So don't use headings for highlights. Use headings only for headings. Don't use headings for too many headings for a page because they may spam your page. Right? So here, observe, suppose I am writing something like So HTML is a markup language. Markup language. And I want to highlight the word markup. If I want to highlight the word markup, then you just saw that by using heading styles, bold will come, size will increase. Then what I have done here for this word, I am using heading 2 or heading 3. Then automatically it breaks the word. So use headings only for headings, because headings have a line break above and below. Don't use them for highlighting any word or sentence, right? So that is very important rule you have to follow, right? Now, one important question asked in interviews, even for experienced people, this is for experienced people, the question asked in interviews is how to remove the predefined styles given for heading. This is a very popular question for experienced people. For freshers, they can't ask this because this is too complex. At fresher level, this is not a question to ask. This is for the people who are very strong in HTML, CSS and all experience level, this question. That means the question asked to you is headings are already having some styles like bold, like line break, like font size. The question asked is how to remove them. How to remove that effect. Is it possible to remove any style which is not given by you? It is automatically applied to it. That means, for example, you see, I am writing here heading 1. I said welcome to HTML. And some paragraph is there. So it is a markup language. Okay. Now see here. Heading 1 is having, this is large size. Heading 1 is having line break above and below. Are these effects applied by you? No, they are automatically applied, predefined. Now the question is, in some pages, when we write these headings, the style will apply. But what we want is, we want to remove that because we want to give our own style. That means for me, heading 1 looks too large in that page. I want to little bit decrease its size. Or I want to remove its bold style. In that case, how to remove the styles for any element which are not given by you? It's very simple actually. What you have to do is, in style, you have to write style for which element? Heading 1. For heading 1, what you have to do is, suppose for heading 1, I want to remove all the styles it is having. Just you have to write all as unset. All unset. Then automatically it removes all the effects and it becomes normal text. Any HTML element is having some effects automatically applied without you mention them and you don't want them, then you just put it all unset. All those effects will be removed. This many senior people also don't know. Many people who finish HTML also, they don't know this. Right? At experience level, these kind of questions are common at high level MNCs and all. That means how we can remove the predefined styles for HTML elements. So that is done by using this option. How do we remove? By using CSS inheritance attribute unset. Unset is called as a CSS inheritance attribute. By using CSS inheritance attribute unset, you can do that. Just what you have to do. So in the style, wherever heading is there, and you have to just set all as unset. Later, when you learn CSS, you will learn more techniques also. This is enough as of now. Later, when you learn CSS, you will learn other techniques, how to handle them. So, this is one popular question asked in interviews. How we can remove the styles for headings which are automatically applied to them. How we can make a heading as normal text. Just by using this concept, you can do it. Another question asked in interviews is, can we change the appearance of predefined heading styles? Can we change of predefined heading styles? That means heading styles already have some appearance. Can we change them? That means heading 1 is having certain font size. Can you make it more larger than its size? We can do that. Yes, by using styles. We can do that by using style attributes. By using style attributes, you can do. That means generally we do that. We will not leave the headings in the same way how they given to us. Why? Because we want two basic things. Headings must be SEO friendly and they must be in our own style. How they can be both? How they can be your own style and how they can be SEO friendly. For that you can apply. For example, suppose now I will remove this. There is a heading welcome. I want to change the font style of heading. Then what do you do? For heading 1, font family. Font family, I will use a font family. Suppose some Algerian. Okay. And you see it will come like this. Do you want to increase a little bit more font size? Then font size is 50 pixel. Then font size is increased. That means heading. Now what is the advantage? Two things are working for you. It is SEO friendly. At the same time, it is according to your appearance. That means give heading and change appearance. Then it will be helpful in two ways. It will be helpful in making it SEO friendly and it will be helpful in displaying as you like it. It is possible. After writing heading, you can change its appearance just by using what? By using styles. I will copy that you can do by using style attributes. That means syntactically what you do here first. Wherever heading 1 is there, we have font family. So some font family Algerian like this. And we define some font size. Font size is some 35 pixels, something. We can add like this. We can change the appearance. These are all the points about heading. So generally heading topic looks very simple. It's a very simple concept also. That means use H1 to H6 for headings. But in interviews, usually what happens is, if interviewer likes, he can conduct entire 1 hour interview for you on just headings. That means so much in-depth concept is there at experience levels. That means every topic is such complex. And real world experience developers should know all the consequences. They must be able to control in any way they are given to them. So that is the reason they should know a lot of technical points about them, right? So at general, anywhere when you are learning about headings, it is a topic of just half minute. Generally, anywhere you are learning about heading, a half minute topic. H1, H6, finish. right? But these are all the technical things that can screw you in interviews. So you should know these technical points, right? So these are the things you need to understand about headings. I hope you are clear. How many levels of headings are there? 6 levels of headings are there. Why to keep headings in a page? To make the topics SEO friendly. What happens if you keep too many headings in a page? The page may get spammed. And how to remove the styles of headings given to them? By using CSS inheritance unset, right? That we have to do. Next important, after headings, we have paragraphs and block quotes. Paragraphs and block quotes is the next one. They are also very simple, but questions around them are little complex. So paragraphs and block quotes. First thing, paragraph is defined. Paragraph is defined by using the element P. And block quote is defined by using the element block quote. You have block quote and we have paragraph. Now, what is the concept about this paragraph and block quotes? Let's see one simple point. For example, I am writing some sentence here. Let's say here I am writing the sentence. Okay. So I am just giving here one option. This is a heading HTML. Under this, I am giving a div. It is a markup language. Like that, a lengthy sentence is there for that. And another div, it is used for presentation. Like this we are writing, and there may be lot of more information also for that. Now let's run this and see. It looks like this. HTML, it is a markup language. It is used for presentation. So it presents DOM, right? All such points I written. This looks okay. But for presenting these three lines, I used 3 divs. This is not correct. This is bad coding. Why bad coding? Because every div says that this line is not related to the second line. That means all are not related to each other. All 3 are 3 separate divisions, but all 3 belongs to only one. Then how to keep them separated, but all related to each other? Div is not correct. Then what we have to do is, instead of div, you can put a paragraph. We can put a paragraph. And usually, paragraphs will have a line break above and below. And make sure all these paragraphs are in one div. That looks good. This is good way of presentation. This indicates that all these 3 lines are related to each other, but all these 3 lines are separated. They are all related to each other, but separated in visual and technically related. Visually separated, technically related to each other. This is how we have to present. Now it looks okay. And paragraphs will have a line break above and below. You can have any lengthy content there, any lengthy content. For example, temporarily, what we will do, let me copy some sentence here. So I am keeping the sentence. For example, you see I am keeping these 2 here. And I am writing like this. Okay, let's keep them here. I am writing like this. Here heading. I will keep as license terms. Okay. And you see, like this, we have some content. Actually, under license terms, two paragraphs are there. Under license terms, two paragraphs are there. Then don't use div for them. Then these two paragraphs become separated from each other. Then what you do, first paragraph in one P element. Okay, second paragraph in another P element. That's how we present the content. How we can keep the content. Now you can see the paragraphs will be displayed like this. This is the first paragraph and this is the second. And what is the more better and good way? You have to keep these two in which location? In a division. Then it looks more better. That is the correct way of organizing the contents. Now, what is the advantage of paragraphs? Technically separated, but they are related to each other, right? Now, same, you can use a block code. Observe carefully. For first paragraph, instead of P, I will use block code. For first paragraph, I will use block code. Then block code is same like paragraph, but you can see left and right indent will be there. Left and right margin little bit adjusted for them. Generally, what is the purpose of this? Why you use block codes in general documentation? What is the purpose of a blocked code in documentation? What's the purpose of a blocked code in documentation? It is used to summarize the topic. Block codes are used for summarizing the topic. For example, in a newspaper, you see a large news article is written. But at the top of that article, a 3-line summary is written. That means you can read that 3-line summary and you can understand what this news is about. You don't need to read the entire paragraph, entire article. These are called block codes. And this is also search engines. So that search engines can identify what this topic is about. They don't need to read the entire topic. They just read the block codes. Read the block codes. So block codes are used. You see, by default, they have some indent. You can add more option. Actually, so for paragraph, syntactically, we write a block code and your text and close the block code. Similarly, you can define a paragraph, your text, and close the paragraph. So you can define align attribute to display left, center, right, or justify. You know, 4 alignments will be there. In body section, I explained. Justified alignment means left, right, it will keep even. It will reduce the raggedness in the right edge of paragraphs. So that is what actually justify is. So you can write like this. You can say block code align. Align is equal to justify, something like this. You can write paragraph align. Align is equal to some right. You can put any kind of alignment you want. So block codes are used for summarizing. Paragraphs are used for displaying detailed content. Detailed content is displayed in paragraph. Summary is displayed by using block code. See what we can do now here. I will do one thing. For this block code align, I will give as justify. After that, this entire block code I will keep in italic I. Entire block code is kept in italic. Now you can see that the block code looks like this. And by default, it is having some indentation left and right. You want more, you can apply through style. That means what you have to do in style, wherever block quote is there, you have to define margin left is 300 pixel, margin right also 300 pixel. And you can see left, right, it will adjust like this. Usually these are called block quotes. Whenever you are presenting a detailed article about some content, the summary about that article must be defined in block quotes. Without block quote also same appearance will come. Then why to write block quote? You can write in a div and you can give this appearance. Then why to use block quote? SEO friendly. Everything SEO friendly. That means complete website can be designed with only div and span. But to make it more search engine friendly, you need to use different types of containers for that. Right? This is important. We have block quotes and we have paragraphs. Right? I will copy this example for you. In that we have a block quote and a paragraph. Now let's see the questions around it. The first question that regularly comes in general interviews or requirements is how to configure first line indent for paragraph or block quote. That is a common requirement. How to configure first line indent for paragraph. You know, whenever we start paragraph, first line will start with some gap, some space. That is called first line indent. That is a common document tradition. Whenever you start paragraph, first line should start with some gap. Now here it is not starting. How to do that? The paragraph, the block quotes, first line should start with some gap, not immediately here. That's a very common documentation requirement. How you will do that? For that, what you have to do is here for block quote and for paragraph, we have to give text indent. How many pixels? Some 50 pixel. And you can see that for paragraph and for block quote also text indent, suppose 100 pixel. You can see it looks like this now. This is block quote 100 pixel. And this is paragraph 50 pixel. Generally, when we write any paragraphs, any block quotes, we use this technique. That's very common. That means every paragraph, first line, we want some gap, some space that you can define by using what? By using CSS attribute that is called text indent. By using text indent. By using text indent, you can apply text indent. That means for a paragraph or for a block quote. What you have to do, you need to define text indent. Suppose some 50 pixel. That's how we do. This is a very common requirement when we are designing paragraphs and block quotes, how to keep the first line with some gap. Second requirement and regularly asked concept is how to design a drop cap. How to design a drop cap. And if you know little bit anything about documentations and all, every documentation have drop caps also. Right? You may not know the word, technically English word for that, but you have seen every day in your general documentation. Right? What is a drop cap? It is there everywhere in MS Word, everywhere. Documentation means drop cap will be there. Drop cap is nothing but you will see the paragraph first character will be a large letter and rest of the characters will be small. So usually you see drop cap is there So suppose it is MS Word. In MS Word, suppose we are copying some paragraph. You see, this is paragraph in MS Word. Where is drop cap? So there will be in insert. Yeah. Insert, you see, there is an option here, drop cap. This is drop cap. Option will be there. And when you apply drop cap, automatically the dropped, it will be like this. That is drop cap. That's a very common thing in documentation, and every website you will see that. So how to design such drop caps, right? That's a very common requirement. And how you do that in HTML. For that, you need to follow certain techniques. Then only you can achieve that. So I will show you how to do that. Actually, for this, I will remove, I will keep only paragraph. Okay. Now you can see there is a paragraph here. I want the W as the dropped capital letter. Then the question here is how you will access the first letter. So for that, first thing you have to do is you can access first letter of paragraph by using CSS class, that is the first letter. First letter is the CSS class. You can apply that. Yesterday you learned one CSS class, two CSS class, hover and active. Hover is a CSS class which is going to get effects when mouse is over. Active is a class which will set effects when you hold down the mouse button. And first letter is going to apply effects only for first letter in paragraph. Only for first letter in paragraph. So you can access the first letter of paragraph using that. So you can set as drop cap using font, style, size, and float. These are required. Font, style, size, and float. Float is important. Then only you can apply that. Usually, see now how to create a drop cap. I will show. Wherever paragraph is there, I will put a P paragraph, but I don't want entire paragraph, only first letter of paragraph. Then we have to use a double colon first letter. It is not colon, it is double colon first letter. And now you can access the first letter, and in the first letter, you can apply font family. First letter font family, suppose we use some Joker man something, and only first letter will change like this. It will have a different font. And I want to apply here. So text align as justify. That's okay. I want to apply font size as 30 pixel. The size increases for that. I am using some 40 pixel. The size increases for that. And I want it to float left. Just we have to use one more attribute, float left. And automatically it comes as a drop cap. Depending on height, depending on width, you can add. Suppose I am using, what is it, padding right padding as 5 pixel. Some gap will come. You change the font style size for that, then it will be accordingly. Suppose I said Arial is the font, it will be like this. You are increasing the font size, depending on the font size, it will be changing. Right? You can add more options. Suppose there is a padding bottom minus 20 pixel I am giving. Padding bottom, it will come little short. You can adjust that. You can change the separate color for that. You can just add different color and appearance for that. You can add a different font style for that. For example, like brush script empty, that is the font style applied, but it should suit your content. That means suppose I given like Algerian, okay, and it will be like this. These are called as what? Drop caps. We call them as drop caps. This is an example for that. So syntactically, how you define a drop cap for your content? Syntactically, to define a drop cap, wherever paragraph is there, what are the compulsory styles? Compulsory styles for paragraph, you have to access what it is? First letter. And in this, what are the basic things you should apply? Font family. Font family, I just given some Arial. Okay, what is the next one? Font size. Font size is some 40 pixel. Okay, what is the next one? Float. Float what left? These are important. Rest of others are optional. Right? Even you don't give them, it doesn't matter much. Right? But float is compulsory. Then only it looks like a drop cap. You have to access the first letter. You have to keep it float. Then it will be appeared in this way. This is example. Mostly while working with paragraphs. Let me copy this example for you. That is the example. While working with paragraphs, the common questions are how we can use first line indent, how we can set a drop cap for paragraphs. And one more regular question comes is, another important question is how to set space between lines in a paragraph. That is a common requirement. How to set space between lines in a paragraph by using CSS attribute called line height. You have to use line height attribute. So space between lines in a paragraph are defined by using line height. By using line height, you can control that, right? Now, this is another option you can see. Suppose I want some space between lines. If you want space between lines just for paragraph, you have to use line height as 20 pixel. You can see some gap between the lines will come. I shrink them, right? I am using some 25 pixels, then line gap will be increasing. 35 pixels, 35. And very important, this is applying for first letter only. First letter, then you can see they fit correctly. If I adjust the line height, then it looks correct fit. This is line height. But if you apply this for paragraph separately, that means line height. Previously, I am applying for first line only. Then it will fit correctly. After that, line height, I will give as 20 pixel. Then it will be space between lines. We have 25 pixel. Then more space between the lines. You can adjust the space between the lines. If you are adjusting the line height for this first letter, it will keep it closer because it reduces the distance. And if you are keeping the line height, distance will increase between the lines. Usually this is the original size, how it looks like. So this is a basic thing. So how you can define line height, right? This is syntactically, wherever paragraph is there, we have to give line what height as how many pixels? 20 pixels. You can apply like this. So this is example for that concept again. That means how you can apply the line height and define. These are all the things you should know about paragraphs and block quotes. So paragraph block quotes are simple 2 tags only, but the requirement around them is not simple, right? And usually these are the questions asked everywhere. Okay, in paragraph, how to get first line from space. Okay, how to create a drop cap in paragraph. How to set space between lines in paragraph. These are not done with HTML and not possible with HTML. These requires lot of knowledge on styles and several attributes and effects you have to know in styles, which we have learned here. Displaying headings and displaying paragraphs, right? So I hope you are clear with two things, headings and paragraphs. Okay. Next important, we have unordered list, ordered and unordered list. Next important, you should know about ordered and unordered list. Actually, ordered list is nothing but ordered list is defined by using OL. And ordered list is nothing but ordered list is an auto numbering style for a list of items. And every item in list is defined with li. So we call it as list item. It is used for displaying numbering. That means syntax. We have an ordered list and we have li. Li, this is item 1, and we have li, this is item 2. So this is a simple ordered list. It gives a numbering style. What is the advantage of numbering style? This numbering style will update automatically when you add or remove numbers. Means when you are adding items, removing items, the numbering will automatically update, right? Whenever you want to display a list, then you can define ordered list. So here are some more points. Let's see. I will remove these styles here. I will create here. Suppose I'm just adding here front end web technologies. And here front end web technologies, I want to give a list. If I want to give a list, then I am writing a simple OL. OL is an ordered list. In that li, list item, first item, HTML, it gets numbering 1. And there is another list item, then CSS, it gets numbering 2. And I am adding another list item, JavaScript, it gets numbering 3. I am adding in between CSS and JavaScript like Bootstrap, automatically changes to 3. Next one will be 4. Numbering will automatically update when you are adding any item in between, removing item, automatically numbering will update. Auto numbering style. And important here is you can change the numbering style by using type attribute. Actually, the type of numbering can be A lowercase, A uppercase, Roman letters lowercase, Roman letters uppercase, and number. You can use any of these types. By default, type is 1, 2, 3. If you want, you can change. You have to just add OL. Type is equal to some A. That's it. It will set the numbering type accordingly. For example, you see here. Now I am writing OL. Ordered list type is 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I am doing here, I am defining type as Roman uppercase A. It will be A, B, C, D. I am defining the type as Roman letter small. Then it will be Roman 1, 2, 3, 4. I defined uppercase. It will be uppercase. I have lowercase alphabet. It is lowercase alphabet. I defined 1, 2, 3. That is default numbering. If you don't define any type, by default type is what? 1, 2, 3. You can set any numbering type. Like this. You can define like this. Here sometimes non-technical people have some doubts. Non-technical people, because if you are not aware of any computer software technologies, then one regular doubt will come. That's a common thing because people who are not aware of any software and computers, they have certain doubts. Like one doubt regularly comes is if there are more than 26 and I am giving A, B, C, D, what will be the next after 26? You are giving A, B, C, D. A to Z 26 only will come, but I have 30. What will be the 27th one? These are general doubts from people who don't know computers at all, because people who are aware of little bit computers, they know that in computers, alphabetical numbering will be A to Z. After that, AA, AB, AC, AZ, BA, BZ, CA, CZ, ZZ. After that, AAA. That is computer style of alphabetical numbering. Any software in the world have to do the same. Right? People who don't know that, they have special doubt like this, like what will happen after 26. Right? But that's a very general thing actually. Besides, if you know any softwares, for example, you see Excel is software. In this, see the column numbers, what they have. Column numbers, they have A, B, C, D now. But Excel have in one sheet more than 256 columns will be there. Then how they number them? That means after A to Z, next what will happen? A, B. Right? That is a basic thing. The same numbering is followed in any software technology in the world. Right? Any software technology in the world will follow same concept. Right? So that is not a special question. Right? Sometimes it is a question for people who don't know technically several things. Right? So if you are giving alphabets A, B, C, then after 26, it is going to repeat like this. It is going to add like this. This is one option. Okay, numbering. This is type, how you can define the type. Another point is you can define from where the numbering have to start by using start attribute, by using start attribute. You can do that. And remember, start attribute, it uses level number. Level number how much? Some 5. Like this, it is 5. Remember, this is always level number. It is always level number. So only number should be given there. That means, for example, numbering is I given as 1. The numbering is starting from 1. I want to start it from start. I can say 101. It starts from 101. I want to start it from 6. It will start it from 6. From where you want, you can start the number. Right? I want from 61. It will start from 61. From where the numbering have to start, we can give. Now the point here is why I said it is a number. Suppose I am using A. I want to start with F. Then what should be start? That is level number. Always it should be number. That means level number of F is how much? Level number of F is 6. Then it will start with F, G, H, I. It is not F. That's what I given here. Level number. That means it's a number. It's not from where you want to start. From which level you want to start. That means if you give F, then what happens? It will not affect. It is always level number. You have to give level number. Level number is what? 6. Then it will give the level number like this. Right? For any kind of numbering, that is the number style it is going to show. This is basically how we can define. So one is what type of numbering you want. Second one, from where you want to start. Another important, recently they added this new facility. You can also reverse the numbering. reverse the numbering. So it is new from HTML5. So from HTML5 also recently they added this facility. That is that you can have a reverse numbering that you can define by using reversed attribute. That means you have to write OL. So you can say reversed. Reversed is the attribute you can write inside it. This is actually why recently this added, because now recently you see websites, what they do is all websites will show every content on same page. In one page, everything will come. You observe Facebook or YouTube, when you scroll up and down, the new posts will be coming top or the new posts will be coming bottom. Depends on some websites situation. Earlier, how it is, when you scroll down, it will say next post. You click next post, next page will open. But these days, there is no next page, previous page. These days, everything comes on one page. We call this mechanism as single page application, SPA. SPA. Single page application means user can watch everything on one page. But how the new details are added? When you scroll up and down, sometimes new details can be added bottom, or sometimes new details are added at the top. If they are added at the top, that is reverse. That is reversed way of presentation. Its numbering is reversed. You see here, I am writing here type as 1. Okay. Now you see here, it is starting with 1, 2, 3, 4. I am using reversed, then it will be 4, 3, 2, 1. Numbering only reversed, items will not reverse. Items reversing is done through a concept of arrays in programming. This is just only numbering reverse. Why you need a reverse numbering? To tell that this is the latest one we are keeping at top. So such type of concept is very common these days, right? That is reversed. Now here, if I am starting with 2, then how the numbering will be? First number will be 2, second number will be 1. After that, 0, -1, -2, like that. Obviously, it is going to go in that reverse order. If starting with 2, then other will be the reverse order. For example, now type is A. Now starting with 2, that means first one will be B, second one will be A, third one will be minus AB. Yeah? Is there any possibility of negative alphabet? No chance. Then it will take 0, 1, -1, -2, 1. There is no negative alphabet, negative Roman numbers. In that case, it will take 0, -1, -2. That means it is just 0, -1, -2. You can see that. That means for Roman, for alphabets, we don't use this actually. We use only for numeric. If accidentally you given for alphabets and Romans, so usually it will be negative, right? This is basic, how you can keep any content as what? Reverse. So just I have to define like this. I will copy this code and I will put that here. This is how it is going to give reversed way of presentation. This is ordered list. How you can define ordered list and write the ordered list. What are the attributes you have? Ordered list attributes. We have type, we have start, and we have reverse. And very important, you can keep ordered list nested. You can keep ordered list nested. You can keep ordered list nested. Nested means in list, another list. In that list, another list. You can keep nested list. Nested list. For example, how to keep a nested list? See, suppose I'm adding a simple concept like web technologies. And in this, an ordered list, we have a list item HTML, say front end. So front end, and we have another list item as backend. Backend. Now these are two options we are having, front end and backend. In front end, two topics are there. Then what you have to do is inside the front end list item, in that front end list item, after the word front end, you have to create another ordered list. This type you can give as suppose A, and the list item inside this, it will be HTML, another list item, it is CSS. There is a nested list. There is a nested list. That means you have items one below another. Now, under HTML or under backend, that means inside this backend, we have an ordered list. So we define type as A, and this is list item, some MongoDB, and we have list item, some Node.js like this. You have the category. Now inside HTML, you can add another ordered list. Here you can give type as Roman letter. This have a list item like normal elements, like we have like void elements like this. And you can see here another. Like this, how many levels you can go? There is no limit. There is no limit. But problem is, how many numbering styles we have? How many numbering styles we have? 1, 2, 3, lowercase alphabet, uppercase alphabet, Roman lowercase, Roman uppercase. Only 5 styles are there. Then what you will give for 6th level? You have to repeat them. Right? There is nothing like how many limit is there. There is no limit. Any level of numbering you can give. But what is the problem? You have only 5 numberings. After that, you have to repeat these numberings, or you can use a combination of number and symbols. We can put symbols that we will see in next point. How do we put the symbols? Right? This is an ordered list nested. Right? That means in CSS, again, I am using OL and I am using type I. And here we have list item like CSS units. And we have list item like CSS selectors like this. So you have some topics under that. This is a nested list. This you can do as a nested list. You can keep ordered list nested. This is another point you should know. So when you are creating an ordered list, how to define the numbering, how to define where to start, how to define reverse, and how do we define the numbering nested. Here, lot of questions will be there. So many questions will be there related to this now. What are the questions related to this? They will ask how to keep these numbering side by side. That's a very common requirement. By default, numbering will be one below another one. But I want the numbering one beside another. How do you keep? A, B, C, D side by side. That's a common requirement. These kind of requirements are very common. What is the common question asked here? How to keep list items side by side. Is it a special question? Huh? You already know you can keep display flex. Huh? Display flex will keep side by side. What is special in that? Already you know how to keep side by side. Anything in a container can be kept side by side by using display flex. That means now what we do here, suppose we are keeping like this. Suppose I'm adding some points here. Let's do one thing here. Suppose I'm adding an ordered list in that list item. In this list item, I defined. So HTML is dash language like this. That is the first question actually. We have a first question here. In that we are giving an ordered list with the type as A, and we are giving here programming language. So we have structured. So we have like markup, and we have like imperative like this. All these things are given choices, right? You can see these are choices. But I want this side by side. Then what I will do is I will give this order list with a class called options. Okay. Why? Because if I apply for ordered list, it will apply everywhere. I want to apply only for these options. So what we will do now, wherever dot options are there, we will put first margin top as 20 pixel, little gap. After that, we will put display as what? Flex, the side by side. I need to keep gap between every list item. That you can do li, every list item, margin right 30 pixel. You will see some gap between every list item. Margin right some 50 pixel, some gap between them here. That's how we do. That means when you are creating a list item, so options can be side by side. That is the first basic thing. This is the first basic requirement, and we have done that. Another interview question is how to keep list items in multiple columns. Is it again complex question? You know already, we can use display what? Grid. We can use already display grid. But here again, technique is there. Actually, I'm using display what? Flex. I will do one thing now. Instead of display flex, I'm just using display what? Grid. How many columns you want? 2 columns. In that case, grid template columns, how many fractions? 6 fractions and 6 fractions. It will arrange the columns like this. But order changed now. I will use here margin. This is what? List item. Margin not right. Margin what? Bottom. It will come like this. This is 20 enough. Okay. It looks like this. But see the problem here. The problem is A and B. No, I want A, B like this. The order of arranging is different. Order of arranging is different. Right? Now, these are the points. So this is where a lot of headache is there, because you, as a front-end developer, you go to interviews. Interviewer will sit beside you and keep on telling the questions to you. See, design like this and show me. No, reverse this and show me. No, numbering should be like this and show me. He will not give a set of questions and say that, right, I will come back and see. He will sit and he will see. That is the problem for you. For Java, .NET, for other people, they will give questions and say that after 1 hour, I will come and see. For UI people, they don't do that. For UI people, they say that, come, I will sit you beside you and show me this. They will see what technique you are using for implementation. And they will verify whether your technique is correct or not. They will verify that you are not using any wrong techniques for that. Right? That is the reason UI developers, learning UI is easy. But our job is little risky every time. Why? Because everybody sits beside us and gives suggestions. He will say that, no, I don't want like this. Move this little right, little left, little up. You must able to control it immediately. That is what the problem is. So that's the reason you should know a lot of techniques for that. So you displayed in multiple columns, but numbering is not great. I want numbering A, B, C, D like this. Then there is another technique for this. What you can do, I use a display grid. Okay. So now another technique is instead of display grid, remove. You see this is normal. Instead of display grid, very simple, you use columns. How many columns you want? 2 columns. That's it. If I use columns, then columns will keep continuous content like this, A, B, C, D. The now numbering is correct. And it is more simple now. What is difference between columns and grid? You will learn. You will see that. When to use columns, when to use grid, I will explain. But grid will put numbering side by side. Columns will keep one below another. And when to use grid, when to use columns, I will tell you. This is another concept for the same thing you are doing. Right? These are all basic requirements. You must able to do all this. This is related to ordered list. Now we have another one. What is it? Unordered list. Unordered list means you can put symbols instead of numbering. That we will see tomorrow. Right? In tomorrow's session, we will discuss about how to use bullets. And then you are ready for designing this. Yesterday I showed you now one design. Why? Because if you want to design some pages like Flipkart and all, if you have to create like this, then you see this is list now. This list is not ordered list. This is an unordered list that we will see tomorrow. How we can keep symbols list. For example, you see some detailed information. See how to create this type of list. Right, with our own elements, how you can configure them. These are all challenging things because these are all related to list. These two things we are going to design tomorrow. Okay, na? Then because these are all related to lists. So what is unordered list? How to use them? That we will see in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we can design this example. Tomorrow we'll continue.